In today's Christmas spot, we'll be having a look at the NECA Toys A Christmas Story. This is Retro Cloth Old Man. Just how tall is the old man? Let's take a tape measure to him. He, much like other retro cloth figures, really excluding Ralphie, are about 8 inches in height. He gets himself 2 accessories, one of which, of course, the primary, I suppose, one of the two. He comes with the leg lamp. It's an award, after all. The leg lamp is done extremely well. In fact, proportionately, the leg lamp is accurate leg-wise to the lamp shade, which is one of the problems I had. A disappointing effect of picking up the NECA leg lamp miniature replica. The leg was way too small. Here we have an exact 1-to-1 scale version of the leg lamp, except for the fact that the tassels running around the perimeter of the shade are not real. You know, despite the fact that the fabric on the old man is a real fabric, would have been nice if they had put real tassels around the outer perimeter, but that's just a very small thing. But it does look quite good. It does even have a real fishnet stocking on there. It's not sculpted in, if you can hopefully see it there. It's not sculpted into the actual leg. Looks really good. An interesting thing that NECA did with the leg lamp, though, if I can tip up and hopefully show you, they put an inlay of a clear plastic. And in there, hopefully maybe I can show you, yeah, from here, you actually have the ring that attaches to the shade, and you've also got the light bulb in there as well. And that's on a somewhat translucent plastic. I don't really know why they went as far as to do that, because you're really not going to see it from a distance. It's extra care that I do appreciate, but again, like, I don't know why they would have gone the far route of adding all those extra details into something that you're really not going to necessarily see anyways. The other head, or the other accessory that he has includes, is a head, the interchangeable head that, while not quite to the default that his existing head is. Let me just show you the 2 heads so you can see the difference between the two. One is a more calmer, almost more exhausted by life sort of facial expression that he has on the default, you know, plugged into the socket of the neck. And then he has also this head, which no doubt is the head that he would make when he's going down battling the furnace in the basement, cursing obscenities. I kind of wish that this head, or either head actually, could have also come with the hat. The trademark hat that he wears. Would have been nice that this head could have also included that. I'm not really honestly sure which head I prefer more so, because both are done so good. This one is, I think, one of my favorites, but takes nothing away from the defaulted head that they've got in the socket currently. These heads, I think, are much better than Ralphie. Ralphie was a good released figure, but I found, like, by comparison, the old man, I think it's just such a better looking head sculpt. Between the hair as well as the paint that they used for him, again, it just captures perfectly the likeness of old man. Just keep calling him the old man. Let's say we go ahead and change the head out. We're just going to wiggle it off the ball joint. Very, very carefully. Which I might say is no easy feat. It does actually take a lot of pressure to get the replacement head on to the neck. But there it is, and it looks actually quite good. Except for maybe the fact that the paint on the head doesn't quite match the neck of the torso. Now, most of him is actually covered over by his shirt, torso-wise, and the cardigan that he's wearing as well. So you're really not going to necessarily see that, yes, the neck isn't quite the same color as the rest of his head, but I kind of really like this head sculpt, especially for imagining, and dare we imagine, that the leg lamp somehow gets broken. I don't know how it happened. To this day, the world may never know how that leg lamp got broken. But that's a good facial expression, I think, for a broken lamp, which they could have possibly included as well, but I mean, we could just go to town all day thinking about all the accessories that old man could have come with. But I do really like that head sculpt quite a bit. For the rest of his outfit, the old man is sporting a tie, which, getting closer looks at the tie, has some interesting kind of striping happening going through there. Of course, you've got the white dress shirt, you've got the brown cardigan, and you've got a pair of brown slacks, keeping everything together with a brown belt. Down by his shoes, the shoes I'm sure has been reused before. A lot of times for retro cloth figures, they're really only retooling hands, the feet, and the head, while the rest of the body stays the same. Maybe these shoes have probably been used before. I can't imagine that they would sculpt brand new shoes for the old man, but still, some nice detailing there on the shoes. Although I do have to say, and I mentioned this with the Ralphie, I do wish that they would switch to a ball joint on the feet. It would give you a much more posability options. You can move the foot outward, because really as it stands right now, all you can do is this. That's all you can do. And I would imagine too, from a ball joint, comparing a ball joint to a hinge joint, I would think it's just as affordable for them to put a ball joint in there as it does a hinge joint. I would imagine from a tooling standpoint, it would be about the same price. You're just only offering a ball joint at the bottom instead. But there is the old man, and for size comparisons, if I can get him to properly stand here. Size comparisons, let's bring in Ralphie, who we just recently had a look at. And scale-wise, they're really accurate. The original NECA released Christmas Story figures, which I really do want to find and maybe do reviews of for this holiday season. Proportionally, I think they were way off, especially like the mother didn't seem like it was the right size. This, I think, is a fairly accurate representation of how they appear in the movie, Ralphie, of course, being appropriately sized to about the elbow area of the old man. Now, when it comes to his posability, let's go through it. He has his ball joint in his head. I also replaced and went back to the defaulted head for final looks. He has universal joints on the arms, so the arms hinge outward. You gotta be a little careful, as it can become difficult moving the arms with all the excess amounts of fabric in the costumes that they are wearing. Especially, to be said as well, is the hinges in the elbows. You gotta be very aware of where those hinges are, that you're not accidentally bending them in the opposite direction, to which the elbow and arm would go and break right off, so be mindful of that. Swivel on the hands, a hinge back and forth. He's also got the swivel in the waist, split on the legs, forward and back motion there. He's got the single bend at the knee, and as we've already discussed, he's also got the hinge back and forth on his feet. I like how Ralphie turned out, but I think my personal favorite of the two figures here is the old man. I think everything on him comes together quite nicely, and I do like the interchangeable heads. The heads can be a little bit difficult, as I have noticed in previous retro cloth figures as well, that changing out the ball joint is really big, and it seems like the socket point on the internal of the head seems really small, so you do have to apply a lot of pressure to get those interchangeable heads to swap in and out. Of course, by including the leg lamp is about the only accessory one would come to expect with the old man. I kind of wish they also could have come with his hat, maybe as an option that they could have swapped out for and maybe included on top of the whatever head you change it out to. The fabric is nice, comes together quite nice, and overall release of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Of course, when he eventually comes in the mail, I'll do a review of him, so certainly stay tuned for that. As always, guys, thanks for watching, as you always do. If you haven't had a chance, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you do it. Of course, more videos will be coming your way as we get closer and closer to the end of the month. And of course, near the end of the month, I know it's New Year's Eve. Back it up a little bit. Back it up a little bit. Got Christmas. Looking forward to Christmas time, especially Christmas in 2017. It's going to be, I think, a really good Christmas here in my house, and I hope it's going to be the same in yours as well. Thanks for watching, as you always do, guys. I'll see you next time.